Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Wednesday, July 31st, 2013. It is the final day of the final trading day of the month. Tomorrow will be August 1st. Let's jump right into the charts. We're going to start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. You're going to see that futures just started to decline. They were flat as a board just about 3 minutes ago, but the GDP number was just released. It looks like the GDP was higher than expected, 1.7%. So markets are now declining a little bit. But one thing that I am noticing that is taking off to the upside is the dollar-yen chart. The dollar is sharply higher against the yen, and you can just see how the dollar-yen, although it's only up 40 cents today, which is still a decent move, but look at the spike this has had really beginning around 8 o'clock this morning. So dollar yen with a pretty robust spike higher. We'll see if that does help the markets. Again, dollar yen goes up, it generally will help the markets, but we are seeing a little bit of a decline or dip after the GDP number was reported. Earlier today at 8:15, which is only basically 18 minutes ago, the ADP job report was out, and they reported a job report of 200,000 jobs gained in the private sector. So again, anything that points to a stronger economy should ultimately point to tapering by the central bank, and that's probably why we're seeing this little bit of a dip. Now later today we're going to have the Federal Reserve or the FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee, release their policy statement for the United States. I have no idea what they're going to say. All I can tell you is that any hint of tapering should be a negative for the markets. But I don't know. Just last month, Ben Bernanke said there would be tapering beginning in September. Then about less than 30 days later, he flipped around and said, hey, there's not going to be any tapering. We're going to keep interest rates low for the next 20 years. So again, take that stuff with a grain of salt for now. Let the market's reaction tell you what you should do. Later today, we're going to have, I think, a little bit more economic data out. You're going to have Chicago PMI. That will, for the month of July, that will be out at 9:45 a.m. And we'll see how the market reacts off of that. But the big numbers are ADP and GDP. ADP job report, I believe, was higher than expected. And then you got the GDP, which was also better than expected as well, coming in at 1.7%. So again, I don't know if we really should look at this too closely, but I think it's really a non-event. GDP has really never moved markets all that much in the past, and again, it's up higher than expected. I think 1.1% was the expectation. It's up 1.7%. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think the big story here that you want to follow right now is dollar yen. Okay, dollar yen goes up. It's generally beneficial for the stock market. If this goes lower, it's a negative for the stock market. Also today, you're going to want to follow bond yields. Bond yields are going to be absolutely critical. Right now, the 10-year bond yield is at 2.653%. So it's up about almost 4 basis points this morning on the U.S. 10-year note. So again, if bond yields go higher, that is a negative, and that's most likely why we're seeing the ES futures trading lower. Meanwhile, the dollar yen is, catching a big bid to the upside. So this is helping to offset, or else the market would be down a lot more if you ask me. Again, we'll expect a quiet session today ahead of the FOMC announcement. That's where Ben Bernanke is going to say what his policy statement is. So we'll see how that plays out. In the European markets today, you do have the German DAX down about 0.4%, almost 0.5%. The FTSE 100 is up 0.6%. They can print their own money. The French CAC 40 is a little bit lower. In Asia last night, you had the Nikkei down almost 1.5%. The Shanghai was up 0.2%. So we're not going to make too much out of that, but the Nikkei was down again. This morning, oil is trading higher by 50 cents. Brent crude is down 60 cents. So we're getting a little pop in oil, and not for nothing, but yesterday oil did hit a little support level, so that's not a big surprise. Gold is down just basically less than $1 today, so we're not going to make too much out of that. Gold is trading just down about 60 cents on the session. to 13.24 an ounce. Let's take a look at the GLD here. You'll see that the GLD is trading down a little bit off of the morning highs, but still sitting right around 127.58. It closed at 128.12 yesterday. The USO should be trading up a little bit, and you can see that's trading around 36.87. It closed at 36.67 yesterday. So we're not going to make too much out of that. There are quite a few morning movers in the marketplace. MasterCard is the big mover today. Stock's hitting a new all-time high, so people are using those credit cards. I would suspect this will maybe stall out around 623 and a half, maybe 625. But either way, it's a great move for MasterCard, and got to be careful trying to short that. I would not be trying to get in front of it, but it should stall out a little bit around 625 on the charts from what I'm seeing. There are a lot of other gap plays out there. We'll see how it plays out. Amgen is another big biotech that reported earnings. Stock really is not doing all that much. Closed at 111. Today it's trading at 109. So there's not a lot we're going to make out of Amgen, at least at the moment. A lot of other names out there that are trading higher and lower. So it's really a mixed bag of tricks for the most part from what I could see. But MasterCard really, to tell you the truth, is really the big household name today. So you want to watch that one today. That could affect the stock markets. That's a pretty big household name that's moving lower. Then you have stocks like Riverbed, which are trading lower. I'm going to have some gap plays in the morning for everybody. So come on over to the chat room. Gap plays, as usual, will be posted up around 9 a.m. in the morning, and we'll see how this market plays out. But again, the big announcement today is going to be the FOMC announcement by Ben Bernanke, and that will be released, I believe, at 2:15 this afternoon, or maybe 2 o'clock. Either way, it's around the 2 o'clock time frame, so we'll see how the market reacts after that. That certainly will be a market mover. All right, with that said, everybody, I'm going to leave it here today, short and sweet, and we'll see how this all plays out a little bit later. Have a great trading day.